Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it may be. It may be dead of night for some of you. Welcome to the Racing channel. Right now we've got 600 watching on YouTube. We've got about you on Twitch right now. Again, this is Crash with you here on the Race Statistics channel. Again, we are broadcasting on multiple streams. That's kind of interesting as we do this. Thank you wherever you are watching right now. F1 TV just they're about a minute away, a few seconds away from their start of their broadcast. We got 5 minutes to go before green light for FP2. So let's talk a little bit about FP1. Not much really happened, and part of that was FP1 is not representative. Track temperature was 50 degrees. It's dropped 13 degrees, almost 14 degrees already from FP1 to FP2. Again, it is night now, and F1 is now starting their broadcast. So right now, all right, we have got much lower wind, but like the track temperature, air temperature has dropped significantly. Humidity is down is much less. Again, it is the sun has set in Saudi, so now we are dealing with a night scenario, and this is what we are going to be racing under for quali and the race itself this weekend. So FP2 here is the most important practice session of the three because this is going to be our representative session. Okay, right now, we've got Fang from Malaysia. Let's see if you guys want to throw out where you're watching from. I'll give you a shout out as we wait for FP2. The only other thing about FP1 that we should notice was that Gasly took P1 in the session. And again, the Alpine out of nowhere is at top of the board. It's going to have, again, Williams and Alpine are in this. Again, the top four teams, again, is Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren. And then the next two teams in order are Alpine and Williams. Yeah, I mean, we really haven't seen the performance out of the Aston Martin to put them in that next tier category. They're probably the next after that. I mean, we're talking seventh best team at best at this moment. And then we're getting Haas is probably even better than Aston Martin at this point. Yeah, so it's one of those, like, again, we've got three teams that may pop out of nowhere with a surprise performance. So we got Chloe from Ireland. We've got Herbert from North Carolina. We've got Paula from England. We've got Austria, Stefan. So most of the teams did about 20 to 25 laps. They were the only two team. I think. I want to say it was Ocon and Behrman were the only two that did like 13 or 14 laps, which is considerably much less. Joel talking from Kansas, one of the states in the United States. Oral from New Zealand. Stephen from Belgium. Nope, Ashley's being foiled by the autocorrect on their tablet. So at the end, it's not the driver; it's the car. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of it is the car, but you get scenarios like where it's Max Verstappen, and even if we've got it's the third best car, he could put it over the line. In the case, he's got the capability of putting it over the line, and Gasly's actually is a good driver. He's an A tier driver, but not a elite tier driver or S tier if you guys want to use that ranking system. And so every so often he will have a moment of brilliance where he puts it all together, and he managed to do that in FP1. Now FP1's not necessarily again the issue with FP1 again is not representative. So will that show up in qualifying? Can you do that three times in qualifying? And that's those are the questions you start getting into. Got 164 likes on YouTube right now. If we can get that to 200, that'd be great to help us with the logarithm. We've got 139 1,428 subscribers on our march to 140,000 subscribers right now. Yeah, moments of I mean, Gasly has it, Ocon has it, Troll on a weird luck has it. Someone's in chat was like, making a case about, Stroll should be get removed, but I mean, like, the point taken is that Stroll's outperformed Alonso so far this season in the first three races. Stroll has 10 points, Alonso has no points at all. It's a P10 versus P17. Uh, Casey was saying this might be doing his last race weekend. No, though that's actually not true. There has been a report where he's got until like midsummer really. So that's not the case. So we've got green light already. And why am I not? They're just not showing who's on track. That's so the Haas's are out first, then Williams. I don't know why F1 TV wasn't on the ball with showing who was coming out. Lawson and Antonelli are next coming out of the track. So it's going to be a little bit, people are going to start trickling out onto track. So it'll be a couple minutes before we start actually getting times on the board. Right now it's 37.7 degrees Celsius. I expect that to drop more as the session goes on. So the big thing why the temperature is a big deal is that means that air density is going to be thicker essentially. With the air, basically the air is going to be uh, more the air temperature. Basically, the air is going to be more massive, and that's going to add more downforce to the cars, giving them more grip. In this scenario, also as well, we know that the Mercedes likes cooler air than hotter air. They perform better when it's cooler, even to the point of it being cold. So, like Vegas is going to be is one of the one is going to be wonderful for Mercedes. Skipperton, who's saying that Haas is going to be sold? I'm wondering where that story is coming from. I mean, like, yeah, Gene Haas got out of NASCAR is one of the things. So it's one of those. It's an interesting question of why he's getting out of F1 and Who is he selling to? Wait for the sale reduced profits about Alpine. Yeah, that's another team. Alpine is another team that's on the rumor of being on the control is on the selling block. That's harder to put at. I mean, it's harder to wrap your head around with Alpine because they had just brought on several investors. I mean, I mean, I guess it's I don't know. I don't know. This is F1. It can be really weird at times. We've got Ocon and Bierman on start coming around, and then we've got Albon. We've got the first of laps coming in. Behrman first, Ocon second, Albin third. Here comes Sonoda. Sonoda is starting his flying lap. Albin's on a hard tire. and everyone else is pretty much is on a medium. Mortadella is the only one still in the pits. Does Haas import from China? You spelt it wrong. Um, that may be. See, the thing is, Haas is an American company, and they build. So Haas's primary business, not the F1 company, but the company that Gene Haas owns, that is sponsoring the F1 team. They are a automated manufacturing company, and then what we mean by that, they build machines that do like CNC, computer. I forget what the end is, but it's computer something control. Basically, it is manufacturing parts based on doing a cut on a regular, getting having a program set in place to do a manufacturing process essentially to build a piece. And Haas is one of the major manufacturers. In fact, they got in trouble. They're probably still in trouble. There's still an issue where they after sanctions got put on Russia, they still continue to do business in Russia, which is a no-no. And the point of this particular story comes from PBS here in the United States. That's so PBS is a um, public broadcasting system. So they don't have they're a pure PBS as a journalism organization. It's just pure journalism, and so it's when they're reporting a story, it's pretty dead on and to the point. As I've been talking, we just had Norris, Verstappen, and Yuki go to the top of the board, Oscar top of the board, Gasly top of the board, Sainz top of the board, Doohan and Alonso. So we've got sometimes. So we've got um, Norris at a 129.272, and then we've got Verstappen at 129.896, and then we've got a lot of people in the 130. So there's a point 0.6 gap between Norris and Verstappen, and then over a second from Sonoda all the way down to Hamilton, who's now 2 seconds back. So if it's just had to make sound off at the commentators on live TV. Oh, which are you listening to the Sky or Stefan? Are you listening to Sky or are you listening to the F1 commentators? Again, we got several of you who are calling are Max supporters. Herbert Williams, Delauer produces at Haas F1 cars. Um, That's partly true. That was true up until this season. Toyota now is a co-partner in that group, and they are now also producing parts for Haas. So it's Dallara and Toyota mixture right now. And the reason that's important because um, with Toyota in the mix now, they can produce and prototype and get a bit quicker turnaround on a new part from Toyota as opposed to Dallara. Now Dallara is also the manufacturer of basically the IndyCar chassis as well. They're all basically Dallaras in a nutshell. I got Doohan jumping to fourth, Leclerc jumping to two, Oscar's at six at the moment. Members at ninth, Lawson 10th, Isaac 11th. Gap is from Norris to Leclerc is zero point 0.2. Leclerc had a fastest third sector in that lap. So everyone is out except for Borrello. Let's see why he is. Take a look at why he is still in the pits. Between $20 and Ferrari, does Haas make any parts themselves? They probably do, but which it's one of those. I mean, they do make parts themselves. Like the parts that they're working with Toyota are their parts. It's their specification, not a specification from like Ferrari or Dallara. And even still, when they were working with the parts that they were going, some of the things that are going to Lara, it specifies to their blueprints and car itself. Okay, so Bartolo is stuck in the pits. There's a fuel leak in Bartolo's car, which is why he's still in the pits. And so we are in a scenario where he could. They're suggesting that he could potentially not make it out onto track this session, and that would be huge. So we are going to see that. We will see whether or not he gets back onto track. Again, Bortolo is in the pits. His car has a fuel leak, which they're trying to repair right now. No, dude, Speedbird's saying doing is fighting for a seat. No, he's not fighting for a seat. He has time to put together something. He's not fighting for a seat right now. There is time from now to the middle of summer where he has time to develop and to work out what he needs. So if he doesn't perform this race, it's not. He's going to be there in Miami. He's going to be there in I think Imola. I think is the next after that, and then there is Monaco. So there's still races. There's multiple races for him to develop from, and he doesn't have to worry about having to be on point directly this race. Again, a massive crash would hurt things. Doing that again would hurt his chances for his seat. Uh, but if he just finishes the race, he's in a good. That's a good starting point for him. What's with up with Borrell? He's in the pits with a fuel leak. Hamilton just jumped P4 to with 129.949. He's 0.677 behind Norris with the fastest second sector. Right now, Oscar's got the fastest first sector. He's right now the only one. He's the only one really. Him and Tsunoda are the only ones on a flying lap. Tsunoda's going to come to the line, and Tsunoda's going to go up to P4, 129.627. That's behind Max by less than a third of a tenth. We've got Alonso coming across the line next, but he's on an out lap, and then we'll see Oscar, who is on a flying lap. Oscar's going to go P2. He's going to be, oh my God, 0.001 thousand of difference between him and his teammate. Fastest first sector improved in second and third. Hamilton right now had the fastest second sector. Alonso moved up to 12th. What I thought was an out lap was actually a slow lap, was actually a flying lap for him. Again, we are from 1 second from P1 all the way down into Antonelli, who is 10th. He's 1.02 behind. Yeah, now Antonelli is 11th. Now that Gasly's jumped up to P6. He's 0.53. Russell is now 0.435 behind, fastest second sector. On an outlap. Sainz and Alman right now on outlaps, and Bearden just started a new. Sorry, not outlaps. Flying laps. Sainz just finished that lap, P7. Clerk up next. Verstappen has just crossed the line. Max right now P4, starting flying lap. Leclerc is P3. That was an outlap, so he's starting a new lap. Antonelli currently 12th. He is starting a new flying lap. He looks like he's starting that. Then we've got Hulkenberg and Albon. Hulkenberg is P14. Albin is 11th. Hulkenberg is going to start a new flying lap. Albin's going to finish his flying lap. He's going to go to P7, 129.722. He does that on a hard tire. He's the only one on a hard tire. Everyone else is on medium, and then there's Barlow, who's in the pits with no tires on. So we're 15 minutes already into this session already. Again, you're listening to the Racing Statistics channel. We are live on both YouTube and Twitch. I want to thank those who are on Twitch right now. We've got each in Twitch cheering for Yuki. Several of you are cheering for Yuki. Several cheering for Max. A lot of Max. Paula and Shay, Joel, a few more actually. You're a mini red orange army in YouTube chat right now. Danny cheering for the Team Papaya. Lawson coming out. He's going to be the first one on a soft tire. Again, we're seeing teams coming in, cycling through stuff. Antonelli jumping up to P6 with 129.689. I suspect that Lawson is going to be on. He might be on a low fuel program. This might be closer to quali. Hey, back to Andrew. We've got Shay right now going giddy up for Max. Weird radio message. How is he isn't sick with me? That's a very odd message. Oscar getting the best of his teammates. 1.132 thousandths faster. Yellow and green semi squares on the screen. What's the function? So those little those pips basically on the screen you're seeing are the subsectors. So again, we've got each of the three. We've got the lap itself. We split it into three sectors, and then we're taking each of those sectors and splitting it into smaller subsectors. And so we're talking about 100 to 200 meters for each of the subsectors. So yellow means that the driver hasn't improved in his best time. Green is improving his best time. Leclerc's taking P1 at the moment, 129.002. And he's 138 thousandths faster than Oscar, 270 faster than Norris, and 598 faster than Max. And Tsunoda's 625. So we've got, again, P1 through P13 doing is 1 second difference. So getting back to the subsectors, again, yellow has drivers not improved, and you'll see that on, like right now, Oscar's on a cool down lap. You can see that Norris came after his lap came in, then is in the pits. So you can see the last two sectors are blue. So a blue at the end of the lap means they entered the pits. If it's in sector one, being in sector one means they left the pits. And then purple means it's the fastest of everyone in the session. So right now, Max in his last lap before coming in the pits, he had a purple subsector. Lawson right now P4 129.522. He's 0.520. So I have just a little more than half a second than Leclerc's lap time. He did it on a soft tire though. That's the interesting one. The only other oddball in this mix is that Albin was on a hard tire, and everyone else has been on some sort of mix of mediums. So right now, Tsunoda ahead of Lawson, go to P4 with 129.4717. He does that on a medium tire. Clear 10th faster than Lawson on a medium tire, opposed to Lawson on a soft tire. Again, Max has not come out. He's in the pits at the moment, so wait and see what he does when he returns. Looking right now, we've grown on Twitch. Thank you for those who are showing up there. Again, we've got about 2,266 watching here on YouTube. I want to thank those of you who are watching, regardless where you are watching. Antonelli just gone P6. He's 0.562 on a medium tire. Antonelli's not goated. My God, he's a rookie. It's his first season. Is he good? Yes. Is he goated? No. Talk about that 7 years from now when he's won world championships and outperformed Max Verstappen 5 times. But no, not you. Stop that. He's new, brand spanking new. He smacked Verstappen, what 7-8 years ago. It's where he's at. Yeah, right now at the moment. Russell, why slow? Where is he? Because he was out on a medium tire and earlier, and he's now on a soft tire now on an out lap. So give it some time. Give it some time before he gets cooking again. Only one out on track right now is Antonelli and Russell. Ones I should say. So the Ferrari boys are not Ferrari. The Mercedes boys are out on track by themselves. Though Antonelli could be coming into the pits. Yeah, he's pitting. Sykes coming out of the pits. Russell coming around to turn 27. He is setting up for what will be what we expect as a flying lap. Right now, what's going on? So right now, Russell is right now the only one on a flying lap right now. We've got 3 other people everyone on a out lap, actually 5. Now that we've got Isaac and Lawson coming out of the pits. Russell improving on his time. He's got a subsector that is purple in sector 2. He is on soft tires right now. He is less than a tenth behind Leclerc, fastest sector 2. And Russell's going to take P1 by 0.29 thousandths. So he only took faster sector 2, improved in sector 1, improved in sector 3. Interesting. Just take one look at the leaderboard and then tell me that Antonelli's a goat. No, is he? No, you're getting things wrong. Is Antonelli a beast? Yes. Goat? No. No. When we talk about goats, we're talking about world championships. Antonelli has none. He has none. He's on the same pace as Stroll. Same place with Logan Sargent. None. Same place as Checo and Hulkenberg. None. Stop using goat. Is he a beast? Yes. That's what you probably what you want to be saying. But he's not a goat. Goat means greatest of all time. He's not the greatest of all time. Literally race 5 in his career. Come on. Knock it off. What happened to turn 18 between Hamilton? I don't know at the moment. We are got 35 minutes left to go in this session. Again, you're listening to the uh, Racing Statistics channel. I want to thank those of you who are on Twitch. I want to thank those of you who are on YouTube. Grashmate, of course they don't mean it seriously. No, no, they do mean it seriously. They, and even if they're not being serious, that's like, um, it's. I don't know why all of a sudden everything is the goat. It's a piece of language that's being overused, and it's trite and it's pathetic, and it's not right. Anyways, Isaac just went to a one P6 129.415. He's 0.473 behind Science's top of the board. 128.942. Again, these are all soft tires runnings that we're seeing. The only soft tires, again, not the medium tires are still left are Oscar Norris and Tsunoda, but they're in the pits. And as I say that, Oscar's coming out of the pits. And Max has gone P1, a full purple lap. He's jumped 4 tenths ahead of Science, 4.26 ahead of Russell, and Leclerc is 4.55. Yeah, that is a monster lap for Max, and that's the performance you expect from Max is him to go out, set the laps, and put a line in the sand, and say to everyone, come try and beat me. Ocon just jumped to 15th. He is 1.4 behind Max now. We got several people out. We've got Snowda out, first time on soft tires. Cameron jumps to 13th. He's 1.2 behind Max. Gasly and Doohan are also are coming out. That would leave only Norris right now in the pits. He's the only one who's of the drivers who've been out not to be on soft. Hulkenberg just jumped to a P6, 129.193. He's 0.6 behind Max. 6.5, I should say, specifically. Um, that's a really good performance from Hulkenberg. And that would represent a big jump in that Sauber car. Again, Sauber right now is under the stake/kick branding. Kick here, it's kick effectively because they can't use stake because stake is a casino operation, and kick is the is stakes Twitch knockoff basically. You leave that alone because I don't know, Kitsch is sketchy. Put it that way. But after the end of this year, that branding will be no longer be green. It will be the black and gold of Audi. And then again, the only person who's not out on track, has not been out on track as of yet, is Bortolello, and that's because there's a fuel leak in his car. Do you think Audi is going to be good in 2026? That's more a question of, is the Sauber team going to be any good this year? That is dependent on, like, literally Audi is in full control of the Sauber team now, and it's just a matter of business and branding before they become Audi next year. Oscar right now on a flying lap, he has a purple middle sector, and we've also got Gasly on a flying lap and Albon on a flying lap, Antonelli on a flying lap. So those are the ones to keep an eye on. Tsunoda just started a flying lap, though he may have abandoned. He may have gone wide. Looks like he might be abandoning his lap. Oscar finishing that lap, P1, and he is 117 thousandths faster than Max. Again, after Max setting that lap, he says he has pitted. Albin is in 7th. Bierman is 14th. Antonelli just finished his lap with P8, 129.242. He's 0.812 behind Oscar. So that's 812 thousandths behind Oscar. And we've just hit 30 minutes to go in this session. Again, you're listening to Racing Statistics. This is Grash with you with live coverage of this session. Also, you've managed to trigger me, and I've gone out and yelled yelled at you for goatness. Hamilton just finished his lap at P10. He's 941 thousandths behind Oscar right now. McLaren is unstoppable. It's really sad because they don't have the best drivers. Just pure car. No, no, Manchoff. No, that's not true. No, Norris and Oscar are quality. They are the top tier elite drivers. The fact that they're both elite drivers, they're in the same category. I mean, um, here's the way to separate. They are multiple race winners in the previous from this year and last year. They're multiple race winners. So that we got that with Max, we got that with both of the McLaren drivers, we got that with Russell, we got that with I think Hamilton. We got that with Clerk. So we had multiple winners. And so yeah, I mean, that's a sign of an elite driver is race wins. Gasly is 129.106. And again, not just a race win, but multiple race wins, I should say. Um, and that's you've got to put that. Tsunoda jumping to P4. He's 0.533 behind Oscar. So you really can't just say. I mean, they have the best car, but uh, you're cherry picking. Oh, that's it. But in Australia, Australia, Piastri was a disaster, dude. It rained in Australia. That whole race was a disaster, and the fact, like, and I mean, like, if you want to do that, I mean, then why aren't you going after science? Why didn't you go after Alonso? I mean, Alonso didn't finish 2 races in a row. I mean, but Oscar finished the race. He finished the race in points, despite having an issue in yeah, I mean, this is one of those. You're. I don't know. Are you just? I don't know where you're going. I mean, dude is second behind. I mean, they're 1-2 in the drivers' championship. They're like 80 points clear of the next team in the just not top. What do you mean they're not top of the F1? What world are you living in? Where you're saying they're not top of F1? Let's go through this. Lando Norris has scored 77 points. Lando is P2 with 74 points. Max Verstappen is 69 points. Russell is 63 points. Charles is fifth with 32 points, and Kimi Antonelli is 30 points. So between Russell and Antonelli, that's 93 points. Lando and Oscar at 151 points. They're 60 points ahead. So just on the drivers on the constructors championship, McLaren is 60 over 60 points clear of their competitor. And Lando and Oscar are P1, P2. And you want to make the argument that they're not the top of F1. What were you trying to say? Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to we are 24 minutes left, 20 minutes and 30, sorry, 24 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this session right now. The only one who's in the past few minutes who's put in a lap of note has been doing. He's gone to 17th. His best lap has been a 129.912. He's 1.5 behind Norris right now. He has gone top of the he Oscar was P1. Norris is now P1 with a 128.340. So we've got into the 128s between Norris, Oscar, Verstappen, Science, Sonoda, and Russell. Thork is at next at P7 with 129.002. That's 6.662 behind Norris's time. Can you really make arguments who's on top of or not based on FP2? No, my argument of who's on top of F1 is not based on FP2. It's based on who scored points in the first four races, not based on F. They just happen to be also P1, P2 in that order in FP2. So let's just get clear what we're looking at right now. FP2 right here is important because it's representative of what we are going to see tomorrow during quali and what we will see during the race in terms of track conditions. Like already right now, again, we're 22 minutes, 23 minutes in left to go, and the track temperature has dropped another 3 degrees, and we will see that tomorrow as well. So that's why who is performing here and why. I mean, right now Hulkenberg is put in. Like, he's in the pit right now, but he was higher up on the board. He's P9 right now, only 8 tenths behind Norris. That's a good performance. Now that will get him most likely. That's a Q. That will get you definitely into Q2 most likely. And depending on how things go, that could get him into Q3. Not sure about Q3. That things that we've been seeing much smaller margins. And Leclerc just did a P4 with a 128. He's a 0.409. Would you bet on winning this weekend? I don't bet. Yeah, I don't bet. I know better. Again, my background is in game design, so I know the house wins. I know why the house wins. So I don't bet. Yeah, I and in some scenarios I'm not allowed to bet because of my background. So we're gonna leave that alone. Will they run quali sim runs in free practice? We should be seeing that in the next 20 minutes at best. If they haven't done it already, then within the next 20 minutes they should be running those quali practice programs. Lando Suckling is not lapping everyone. Lando really likes to talk himself down and to go out. He is really hard on himself, and he likes talking things down in a there's continual improvement. Um, yeah, he no, it's not him being a crybaby. There's a phrase that comes out in from NFL football. There's a phrase called "humble pie." It comes specifically from the New England Patriots. The Patriots in the dynasty era of they could win, blow out another team, and you'd have the head coach come out and be like, "We've done everything wrong. Like we've got improvement to do." And there's literally the phrase it's called humble pie. And so Lando likes his humble pie. Let's put it this way. He very much likes that humble pie. And he eats it a lot. He talks himself down and he's very hard on himself. But that's also part of there's an element of this that's important because if you it's better to talk yourself down to lower your expectations as opposed to, over talk things up and then not perform. Now you look like an idiot. And so there's a, and you, one of the, again, things that you'll see is that, um, again, last weekend was a great example where we had, before the race, we had both Zach Brown and Horner being interviewed by F1 TV. And each of them were trying to talk down their team and talk up the other team in the same regards. Actually, it was before quali where they were doing that. Welcome Brian 3224 as one of the new subscriber, one of the part of the families that we're talking about. Again, they've joined Shay, Stefan, Paula. Those more. Mikey. Those are the ones I can remember right now. Again, these are the people who have joined the channel. Again, they're throwing up in a couple of months each. Again, like $2 or €2 each month, or £2 each month to the channel. One of the things that they get for being part of the channel is that they have a access to channel specific emotes. See if I can get them all in. There we go. Those are in chat. You can see I just dropped them in. They also, if they remain a member from month to month, they will get a special super chat. So it's referred to as a milestone, but it's basically a free super chat where it now basically tells how long they've been a member here on the channel. Um, Only 4 people on track right now. It's Stroll, Oscar, Sainz, and Verstappen at the moment. I'm trying looking at it right now. They're all on um Sainz. Oh, where is he? Yeah, they're all on outlaps or either are an outlap or they're on a cool down lap. Stroll's coming into pits. Here comes Gasly. So it'll be a couple of minutes or so before we start seeing any new flying laps, if they're on a program for a flying lap. They could very well, instead of doing a qualifying program, they could be doing a program where they're lading the fuel. Um, Again, Albon right now is probably laden with fuel. He's probably doing a race simulation as opposed to a quality simulation with a hard tire. Anyone knows how Ryan? Well, we know that Ryan's doing well. I mean, he's not drunk. He's probably asleep because he's been working. He's got so the issue with Ryan is that this is his last year of college. He's a senior in college, and that alone is a lot of stress. He was also a bit burnt out. Again, there's only so many races like Japan that you can commentate and not put your head through the wall. And so he was a bit burnt out from Max's dominance. He was not a Max fan like Paulo or Shay or other people in chat, and and that was showing. And so he's taking time off to take care of himself, take care of what he needs to do for his career. And we were rooting for him. Yeah, no, and that's one of the things is like it's for me. It's not a question of if Ryan is coming back. It's a matter of when. It's when he comes back, and I'm not. There'll be a wonderful day when you guys welcome him back. But until then, you know, we wish him the best. I know a little bit more with Ryan, but it's not my place to tell you that information. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're at 14 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in this session. And you're listening to the Racing Statistics channel right now. We are live on both Twitch and YouTube. There was an incident between Hamilton and Albon, which will be investigated after the session. It's an impeding situation. So we've got something to keep an eye on after the session is over. Sure, there's nothing is happening. Yeah, nothing is happening at the moment, and this is typical of sometimes can happen. Stefan, it was specifically a fuel line issue. And we're trying to repair that, and that looks like it's going to take longer to repair. And so even this was reported like within 4 minutes within the beginning of the session, and they were basically setting up the expectations that he would not come out in this session because of that fuel line issue. So what happened, Borrello? His car has a fuel line issue that they're trying to fix and ultimately replace that line basically. And for that reason, he's not likely going to be out in FP2. We pretty much everyone on track except for Antonelli, Alonso, Behrman, and Stroll. Though they had been out pretty long before. Russell is out on out lap. Norris is still on an out lap, and Isaac's still on an out lap. No one else is pushing at the moment. Is Porto actually bad, or is it because his car? It's more of his car. He's in. It's more. He's a rookie, and he's in a. Uh, is Audi really looking someone to buy half the team? Allegedly getting cold feet. Um, it's no, it's not. It's not a full half a team. It's slightly less. It's more. They're looking for investors. Is the best way to put it. Disgruntled talk. They're not. They're not. They're not selling out control of the team. They're selling out investment opportunities into the team. Is really what's going on. It's not that they cold feet, but if they can bring in another, half a billion or to $1 billion in other people like investing in. And this is where like with Alpine, they have just last year they brought in all those celebrity investors, Ryan Reynolds and who else? Oh, there was someone else. There was a basketball player. I want to say, oh, I'm blanking on who was in that group, but there was a group of investors, a group that was, Ryan Reynolds and a couple other sports figures, who, as a group, invested into Alpine, and that's what they're selling is though that portion of the team that they can sell to investors effectively. There you go, Kelsey, Mahomes. Thank you, random. That I remember now. So it's not we're not talking about them selling out and getting out of, what they're doing is they're selling portions of the team to bring in investment, to bring in more money to the team effectively. We've got under 10 minutes to go in this session, 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Friends asks, "He's getting better with each race, but I wonder what his roof P5, P3, a podium at minimum." Um, God. Yeah, okay, Sonoda has hit the wall, as I was doing a mod. So we have gone into a red flag. So, did Sonoda crash? Yes, he has hit the wall. Where is he on the track? Too many people on the track right now. That's not good. That is a crash. Yuki is getting out of the car. He is safe. He's okay, but he is getting out of the car. Maybe stop on track. Take a look. See if I can get a look at what happened with Sonoda. All right. So Yuki has gotten out of the car safely. Okay. So I'm looking at his driver cam from about 2 minutes ago. Crash happened about a minute ago. It's looking good so far in his lap. Oh, okay. So what happened with Yuki is he came around the hairpin turn, and hit his left side hit the inner wall, and that basically locked up the wheel, and it was non-functional. He basically was at that point a passenger, and then went around into the wall itself. So we are under a red flag right now because Yuki Tsunoda has crashed. He was going around one of the hairpins and hit the left side, and that basically that wall moved in on him. Yeah. But basically, he basically hit the left side, the left wheel, and it basically locked into place, and he basically could not make the curve anymore. Medicar car has been deployed. Did he destroy the car? No, he didn't destroy the car. It's basically the front end. Uh, Basically the wheel collapsed as it's supposed to. Is he getting in the medical car? Oh, there he is. It's not the hairpin. It's turn 27. Margaret Erickson hits him. My God. Yeah, medical board. That is to is the medical car will be deployed because um that's procedure. Is there time to clear debris, or is that pretty much over? It's gonna be close. Watching. Oh, here we're watching Lando. Yeah, Lando had a view of the action in front of him. FP2 over, maybe. It is a question of how fast they can clean the track. We do have time. We've got if they do we've got enough time. It's on that line of eh, I don't want to say it is over because there's just enough time to get the track clean and to get it into a green flag and get everyone back out. If I can't finish the session, no one can. Oh boy. Someone doesn't think they'll clean the track before time is over. I mean, they're cleaning the track right now as it stands. If they get down to another 9, we'll know in another 90 seconds whether they're gonna um, whether or not that session will be won't resume. Take a look right now. Right now, we've got 3 minutes left to go in this session. Again, we are in a red flag scenario. Kind of funny because I was talking with Racing Statistics before this, and while we didn't get an red flag in FP1, I kind of knew we were going to get one in FP2. It's just a matter of someone pushing their car in some way, and it just happened to be Sonoda. So that's my stream is locked up. And they've got, I think this is Antonelli, and I think teams are thinking that they are going to be able to go back out because they're prepping the cars to go back out. We've got a 136 left to go. Again, I want to thank those who have been here. We've got over 2,000 watching on YouTube, a dozen of you watching, a few dozen watching over on Twitch. And they're just getting Yuki's car off the track now. It's on the crane, and they're sending cars out. So track has gone green. Yeah, so basically, they will probably let them go out on track. And this is so that they could be able to do. They'll go around. They'll do. Um, go around the track and then do a practice start. So this is going to bring us to the end of this session. Icky is back in the paddock. He's doing an interview with F1 TV now, so he is okay. He doesn't need to be sent to the medical. And the pit lane exit has been open with 25 seconds left to go in this. Again, we've got tons of people coming out onto track. Okay, with 1 minute left to go, they went green light again. So basically, everyone on track is out there to go around, and so they can do practice starts. Yeah, no one's. We're not going to see anyone go across the line to do a flying lap or set times. This is more to be out on track so they can do a practice start at the end of the session. So wow. This is all right. Again, this is got to bring our commentary and our coverage for FP2 to an end. Again, I want to thank those of you who have been here. Again, the 2000 who are watching on YouTube. Again, the dozens on Twitch. If you're on another platform, that maybe Facebook Live. Um, but anyways, I will we will be back tomorrow for FP3 and then for quali and then for the race itself. It is Good Friday for those who are of the Catholic persuasion. If not, don't worry about it. But those who are a Catholic, happy Good Friday. We will have a good day, and we will see you again tomorrow for FP3 and quali. Again, take care, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow.